I give it a few seconds here to see what's happening. The live stream I had set up for this tonight was on a software that I am unfamiliar with and I'm trying to learn. And I've spent days on it and to no avail whatsoever. So, yeah, that has been at the very least disappointing. Very disappointing. Well, I'll give it just a few minutes to see if anybody files in. Yeah, this has been quite a journey with trying to learn this new software. Hey, Danny, hey, good to see you, man. I had a feeling you'd be the first one in here. Let me grab something real quick. All right. Have some patience with me tonight because this is my first time doing it like this, and I had a feeling. Hey, man, how's it going? Sith with no name. Good to see you. I had a feeling it would go like this, actually. I didn't think I was completely mentally prepared for it. Likewise, I was telling my wife, I said, I'm kind of nervous about this. And she was like, why? I said, well, it's because I've been working on this software. It's the OBS streaming service. It's supposed to be really simple to use. And whenever you watch these tutorials on YouTube about how to set things up like this, it's never as easy as they say. I think these people who make these videos, I'm trying to pull up something right now. I think when they make these tutorials, they forget what it was like to know nothing, to know absolutely nothing about how to do something like this. And okay, for example, whenever I make beard trimming tutorials, you guys know that I'm a stickler for detail. That's why my videos tend to be, for some people, a little too long, because I always try to treat it as though the person trying to trim their beard doesn't have any experience at all whatsoever. And I think that's how tutorials should be approached. And unfortunately, I don't think they are a lot of times. So I went onto YouTube and I looked up like StreamYard, OBS, and there's several handfuls of these things. And they tried telling you that all you have to do is this, X amount of steps. And I'm one who really pays a lot of attention to instructions. I'm not like this typical guy that he just doesn't need instructions. I follow instructions. And yeah, so I get on there and I try to go step by step. I try to do everything they say. There's so much they don't do. And there's one that I found that came closer to all the rest of them, but he still leaves stuff out. So when I tried to stream, hopefully I see. So I'm looking at this on my laptop, and it looks like it's lagging. Is it lagging on your end, guys? Let's see. I'm gonna try to refresh this and see if it comes up with anything. Could just be my computer, but yeah, it looks like it might just be my computer. But anyway, it's a little choppy. Let's see what's going on. So now I'm on my phone. And okay, looks like I'm back. If you can let me know if you can hear me all right. Hopefully, yeah, it's looking choppy on my laptop here too. Seems okay on this end, Danny says. Okay. Hopefully you won't miss anything I'm saying. Not that I have really anything that important to share, but anyway, yeah, it's really aggravating. And I've spent literally days, hours every day going over this and looking up different videos and articles about how to do these things. And I can't find the answers to my questions. And yet, this is software that seemingly probably tens of thousands of people use, content creators. So what's the deal? What's going on with that? I don't know. I don't know. Why do I feel like I'm the only one who can't get it? And it makes me realize if I ever get good enough at this, that maybe I should be making tutorials for people on how to do the very thing I'm trying to do right now. So, yeah. Well, see, so here's what it is. I bought this Insta360 webcam. It's supposed to be like the best thing market out there right now, as far as um, affordable webcams go. I mean, I don't know how expensive they get. I don't normally look for stuff like that. I'm not in the market for that kind of thing. But I did a lot of research as far as you know, what most people are probably using and what they think is the best webcam. And the 360, what do they call this thing? Okay, it looks like this right here. All right. And the videos are very, very impressive, telling you how they work. And yeah, it took me forever just to figure out how to get the screen come up. But as far as transferring all this information from OBS to YouTube, it's just not happening tonight. I had a feeling that was going to occur. But anyway, so how are you guys doing tonight? How are you guys doing tonight? So right now it says I have 9 on here. Hey, listen, I have 8 on here. It's a success. Going into this, I had some hesitation, because that when people first start doing live streams, hey Wade, how you doing, man? When you first start doing live streams, that it seems like the majority of people who do them are talking to nobody, are talking to absolutely nobody, and then you always wonder what do I talk about if I'm just talking to myself, and I mean I have things I could talk about, and I do talk to myself quite a bit, so maybe I could entertain just me if I had to. So Danny says, doing good, brother. The beard looks great, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. I haven't done a lot to it since my last beard trim tutorial. I've touched up a little bit. Good to see you doing well, Wade. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of touching up to it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing yet. I don't know if I'm going to grow my beard out big again, or I just don't know. I'm kind of winging it, just kind of seeing what happens next. The problem I had with a big beard was that, for starters, I thought it made me look older, but I am a little bit older now, so whatever. You can't run from that forever. But the other thing is it makes your face look bigger, and I think across the board it makes a guy's face look bigger. And I don't know. I kind of wanted to experience my features again, revisit them. I didn't want to go to my grave never seeing my face again, so that's part of the reason why I shaved it off. And so Danny says, what about a wider goatee and shorter sides like you have now? I've actually thought about that, Danny. I've thought about that. You guys, this is the thing on the comments that I get from you guys on my videos. I get a lot of good suggestions. I think if I was going to do a goatee, it would be a wider one, because the shorter goatees are just out of fashion. Nobody's doing that anymore. And hey, Robert. Hey, Greg. Good to see you. Well, thank you, Robert. It's good to see you here too. So yeah, if I was going to do a goatee, I think I would do a bigger goatee like you're talking about, because some of them, I was in, where was I at? I was in a restaurant the other day. Maybe it was Subway. I go to Subway a lot. I don't remember where I was at. Maybe it was Chill. Oh, it was Chili's. And there's a guy who came in with his elderly father, and he had a big, big goatee. Like he had like what you're talking about, where it's, you know, kind of close to the face on the side, and it looked so good. It was pure white. It just looked bad bone. It looked really good. But as far as a short goatee goes, I just don't think I would do that because I did have that for years in my 20s, late 20s, early 30s, and I thought I was rocking it, but but nobody likes them anymore. Nobody likes the short ones anymore. But you know, with that bigger, wider goatee, it does look kind of bikerish. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me look at these. I'm reading the comments on the screen here because when I'm shooting horizontally, it doesn't show me all of the chat. So I'm looking over here. Let me see if I can move the screen a little bit. Okay, Sith with no name. Is there another name you go by? So I know what to call you. He says, I'm fine. A good friend of mine just passed away. Oh man. So I'm a little somber about that. Awaiting details of funeral arrangements. Man. You know, death is never pleasant. Like that needs to be stated, right? And oh, okay. So your name is Paul. Okay, good. That's cool. It's cool that I have something I can call you now. I just hate to say Sith with no name repeatedly, but Paul, sorry about your friend or yeah, your friend passing away. How old was he? Um, that's tough. You know, I'm sure you guys probably know I recently lost my mother, but she was 79 and she would have turned 80 in 10 days. Yeah, she would have turned 80 in 10 days. And we always thought she'd live to be over 100 because my mom was a strong person. She just had a lot of vigor, you know, always busy. And people on her side of the family tend to live a long time, but it seemed a little more natural when she passed away because that seems the natural order of things. And yeah, it's hard. But when you know, she had metastatic colon cancer, and for some reason it was never caught. She never knew she had it. Never, I guess she never thought she had a reason to check it out or anything. But she battled that for 2 years, and yeah, it's just not pretty. So I feel for you. I feel for you, Paul. Okay, let's catch up with some of the. I mean, guys, I am so thankful that you have showed up tonight. I can't believe the turnout so far. I'm very happy about this right now. Um, okay, so all right, Danny says kind of like an Opie from Sons of Anarchy look. Yeah, yeah, true. I don't watch Sons of Anarchy, but I know what you're talking about. Um, Brian Brian says you're so cool. Well, thank you. Listen, I'll take it. I'll take it or get it. Don't ask my family what they think because I don't think they think I'm cool. Um, yeah. 73. Oh, he was 73. Cancer. Yeah. You know, I'm going to be 55 in April, May, June, in 2 months, 2.5 months. And looks like it might be, looks like this might be buffering now. Okay. A little choppy. Okay. So I'm very, very aware that as you get to be this age, that you're going to start seeing a lot more of this kind of thing. It's just inevitable. And when I went to my father's funeral, the pastor there told me, he goes, you know, you get to a certain age where you have more people on the other side than you do over here. So yeah, yeah, Danny, I see it's buffering. I don't know why. I hmm, I might have to do something about our service here. I don't think I had this much buffering when my friend and I were at Culver's. It might just be the spot in my house. So Bill Lore, he says, always enjoy your videos and all you share. Thanks for taking all the time and energy you give out to us. Well, you're welcome, and I thank you for enjoying them, and I appreciate the fact that you do. It's very reassuring, very reassuring. Um, yeah. So I would like to do live streams more often. because I don't get to make recorded videos as often as I like. When you make a live, and I've been on several different live streams with other people before, I enjoyed it a lot. And there's something about being on them and just talking, and you can't just skip over your mistakes. They're there laid out bare on a rock for everyone to see. And yet I feel more relaxed when I do them. When not that I've done a lot, but I've been on a few. You feel more relaxed, or at least I do, and so I feel I just a little more confident. I don't know why. I guess when you're recording something, you want to make sure that if it's going out, it's as good as you can possibly make it at the moment. So Paul says, I'm 53, family, friends, and classmates dropping out of here. I know. Yeah. Yeah. I know what I was going to say. One of the things I was thankful for in those last few days with my mom was that at least she didn't see any of her children go before her, with the exception of back in 1976, maybe it was 70. Oh man, I'm losing track now. Was it 76? My parents had adopted a baby girl from Baptist Children's Home in Valparaiso, Indiana. 2 months later, the girl, little Heather, died. Heather died. And I remember that night vividly. And it affected my parents as though, my mom had bore her herself. Don't know if that's the right wordage to use, but yeah. So, but there's 4 boys in my family, and after Heather passed away, my parents adopted another baby girl, my sister Carrie, and so she was born in 76. I might be getting some of my dates wrong, but something like that. But as far as that goes, my parents have not really lost any other children up to that point, and I would be thankful if I was on my deathbed if I didn't have to see one of my children pass before me. So anyway, yeah, not to make the conversation completely dark, but sometimes you just have to roll the punches and see what happens. So I was trying to think of what would make a good topic, what would make a good talking point for this video. If I was going to have one talking point, what would it be? And well, Brian says you should keep the beard. I like it longer. You like it longer than this? Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Sometimes I like, my beard got to about here, probably. I don't know, something like that. I wouldn't mind if it was maybe down here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But as far as a topic to talk about tonight, I was going back through some of my old videos from the very first days of when I started YouTube. And apparently some of my first videos were like 7 years ago. I thought it actually went back for that. Oh, so Miguel says, greetings from Venezuela, Latin America. Hey, that is so cool. I have a viewer from Venezuela. How are things down there? And thanks for tuning in, by the way. I was revisiting one of my old videos, and some of my old videos I thought were actually pretty good, but they hardly have any views on them. So I figured to kind of regurgitate some of the information would be harmless, because most of you probably haven't seen them anyway. So there's one I did on the origin. Okay, we've all been harassed by somebody before. We've all been given a hard time. We've all had someone target us and and really come after us tooth and nail, right? Torment us, plague us, vex us. We know what that's like. And it's not a good feeling. And hopefully you have been the perpetuator of vexation in this case. So, but yeah, it can be tough getting harassed. I had a boss who came into the company and gave us such a viciously hard time. I don't know why they hired him. And I saw men who'd been with the company for years retire because they couldn't deal with him. That's a story I heard, at least. And I don't think they should have. when he came along, I said, I'm going to outlast this guy. And this guy, I swear, he did not like me at all. He would watch me on GPS, watch every little move I make. If I went through a drive-through at McDonald's, he'd call my boss to have him talk to me about why I was going through a drive-through. I'm in my truck. I'm in work truck. I'm out in the field every day. I'm everywhere in Lakeland. Why would I not go through a drive-through? I mean, and he was micromanaging me and a lot of other people, but he really did not like me. He was harassing me. You know, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your kid, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's just creditors or whoever else. People talk in a threatening manner. They say things they shouldn't say. And it looks like I'm buffering again. Okay, am I back? Okay. The word harass comes from a French word which means to set a dog on. Think about that. A French word that means to set a dog on. Have you ever said of someone, they just keep dogging me? They won't leave me alone. They just keep dogging me. And I have a feeling that maybe perhaps this is where this comes from. And I can tell you, I know what it's like to have dogs set on me because I work for a utilities company. I'm a field worker, as I said before, and one of my duties is to go to locations, to accounts, and turn people off for non-payment. Now, this doesn't happen as often anymore, but it used to be that people were a lot more confrontational than they are now. There's a lot of reasons why it's not happening as much now. Technology has made things a lot easier because a lot of times we don't have to go to the location to cut somebody off. But it used to be we had to go to every single account in person, manually work the meter. People would come out, be very confrontational. Not every single person, but a lot of people would be very confrontational, be very angry. And in some cases, they would let their dogs out on us. And we've had some people who have been viciously mauled, end up in the hospital. And it wasn't pretty. I mean, these were life-altering attacks. And so that was the embodiment of the word harass. It's like I'm buffering again. Oh well, we'll see what happens here. So we got Eric. Oh, howdy, Greg. Eric here from Michigan. I wonder if it's somebody related to my wife. She has a cousin named Eric up in Michigan. So that'd be really strange, wouldn't it, if that was the case? Let me see. I'm gonna try to rebuffer. I'm gonna try to refresh this on my screen because I don't know if what I'm seeing on my laptop screen is the same as what you're seeing. Hopefully everything's cool, but we'll find out. Anyway, so I'm having a tough time even pulling up anything here right now myself. It says I have no internet connection. Is that what you guys are seeing? I mean, like nothing. All right. Bear with me here. Bear with me here. Oh, man. Okay. Am I back? All right, guys. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can get this back up and running. Unexpected events. Unexpected events. If you can hear me, somebody say something. Okay. Okay. Danny says looks good. I'm sorry about those guys. I really am. This is not what I expected. I mean, I expected some hiccups. Okay, so Kevin says I can hear you. Man, I don't know why it's so slow on my end. I don't know what the deal is tonight. Looks good, sounds good. Okay. Oh, Eric from Eric is okay. I hear you. See. Oh, okay, cool. Good. Well, then I'll keep talking. Okay. So I was telling you about people in my line of work that have had vicious attacks by dogs because people have let them out on them, and and you may feel like you've had maybe not such dramatic aggressions upon you, but nevertheless, you know what it is to be harassed. And I think it's important to think about how one might respond to that. If you don't plan, okay, so Paul says you're on, I'm getting some slight buffering. Okay, thank you. So if you don't have a plan as to how to respond to that, you're probably not going to respond as well as you could. And you might be responding in a way that's not beneficial to you. So I've written down 4 things. So number 1, don't let people change you. If someone's harassing you, they are trying to get you to react in a way that benefits them and degrades your own character. And I think that's something you have to keep in mind. If you know that that's what someone's intention is, you can prepare yourself a little bit better for it and be stubborn enough not to give them what they want. Number 2, don't forfeit the positives. If you're not gonna react well, if you're not gonna take it in stride, you're gonna have a very difficult time holding on to the good things you have in life. They easily be taken away from you just by simply caving in for something that is, for all intentions, temporary. So do not forfeit the positives in your life. Okay. Oh, hey, Johnny. All right. Hey, good to see you. I didn't even put my glasses on. And then number 3, do not seek revenge. It never works out. And the thing that this is actually difficult for me. When someone is relaying a story to me and says, listen, I know of a perfect way to get back for something, just do this. And I always have, stop, don't tell me, because I actually want to try it. And it's going to get me into trouble. And I'm one of these people who always wants to find out if things are going to work. So, but don't get revenge, because it could easily backfire on you and take so many good things out of your life. You'd be forfeiting the positives. And number 4, let them be themselves. Let people just be themselves, because really, honestly, if you're going to get revenge, the best revenge is to let people be who they are, because they are who they have to live with the rest of their lives, and they are not happy people. So if you get harassed, try to remember these things. It's certainly worth thinking about. Maybe you're going through something right now where you feel like someone does not have your best interest in mind. Tough, just trying to deal with that. Wow. So I really, honestly, guys, I can't even see. Okay. So Paul says, I'm huge on revenge, unfortunately. See, I'm with you, man. I am absolutely with you. Yeah, 100%. Reload this page. I'm trying to find out if, am I still buffering? Guys, am I still having a hard time on your end? Listen, like I said, this is my first time doing this by myself. I didn't have these many problems. So Eric says, I appreciate your style, intentionally thoughtful in all areas and aspects of life. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. When Eric and I did our video at Culver's, I didn't run into these many problems. So maybe it's just this part of the house. Okay, so Eric's saying it's slightly buffering. Well, maybe on the replay when it finally gets uploaded, maybe it won't be buffering as much. Talking about letting people be themselves. Let me tell you about a book I've been reading, and this is actually the #1 bestseller right now. It's called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. You've probably heard of her. She's all over the place. Mel Robbins is great. I don't know if I said it before or not, but she she kind of gets on my nerves a little bit because she doesn't know when to quit talking. And but she means well. I love her to death. She's great. But this book is really kind of embodying the last point, is let people be who they are, instead of trying to control the outcome and compromising your own character, your safety, and your integrity, just let them be who they are. So I'll put a link for this. When the video finally uploads, I'll put a link for it in the description so you can acquire this off. So, yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me that I would love to answer? So Wade says, just got that book. It's pretty good. I tell you what, I have another video coming out Friday where I talk about this a little bit, so you'll hear me repeat myself. I'm not getting as much out of the book as I would like because I've heard her talk about this so much on YouTube. You know, she's been interviewed by everyone under the sun about it, and I absorbed a lot of what she said. It's great. It's great. I mean, it's something that you could definitely be benefited by instead of trying to control the outcome in other people's lives and thinking that the only way you can be happy is if they are doing what you think they ought to be doing. If you just let people go, let them do what they want, with some exceptions, caveats. You can't just let your kids run out the road and play if they want to. You can't just let people abuse you and mistreat you. That's not the kind of thing it's talking about. But yeah, it. You know, words kind of failing at the moment, but this is fantastic, fantastic book. And if you don't want to buy the book, just look her up on YouTube. She can be found easily. All you have to do is, you don't even need her name. Just put in "Let Them" into the YouTube search bar, and yeah, you'll find her quite well. You know, another book that I talked about a while back, and I was kind of leafing through some of my books over here because I don't have enough bookshelves. I have books stacked all over the place. I talked about this book, that A Complaint-Free World by Will Bowen. It is 21-day complaint-free challenge. I talked about this at the beginning of the year because I was going to try to do this. I have not been successful. Not for one day in a row. I have not been successful. I find something to complain about, just like everybody else, and that's what I've done. And it takes real intention to make this happen. But if you can strive to not be a complainer, to not issue a complaint, spoken or written, your life will greatly improve. And yeah, that's a good book too. I'll link that down there likewise. So if you guys are wondering what I have in my beard today, I'm actually wearing Fresh Beards Voodoo beard oil. Yeah. Now I've actually had this for a couple of years, and it actually keeps with the brown bottle. Light doesn't get to it, and this is a quality beard oil. And yeah, I have also got their beard butter, but I've got a number of beard oils and butters from Fresh Beards. I never talk about them. I can't get any kind of an affiliation with them, but they're absolutely fantastic. Voodoo is a great scent, but really all of them are. They have a dark roast coffee beard oil that I love, and I highly suggest it. I think they have one called Dark Light. I think that's what it's called. That's a very cologne-like scent. That smells really good. It smells really, really good. It kind of reminds me of Live Bearded's. Oh man, what's that one they have? That's really. I like all their stuff, but I'm getting them confused. Getting them confused, definitely. So Eric said, "Boy, oh boy, that would be a difficult one for me." Yeah. So, well, at this point, what were you talking about? Because I probably missed it with all the buffering and stuff like that. I don't know exactly which thing you're talking about. So Paul says, "Wearing Live Bearded Canyon today." That's really good stuff. Live Bearded Canyon is really good stuff. Eric is asking me, "Do you sharpen your lines and neck daily?" No. No. Honestly, guys, I'm rather lazy. I'm rather lazy when it comes to maintaining my beard. I mean, look at the hair on my head. I wanted to shave my head this morning, just like, I don't feel like it. I mean, I can go a while. I can go a while. I don't care. I don't care what it looks like really. And for attention to details I show on my videos about trimming your beard and looking nice, I'm really pretty lazy about it. But you know, I might hit this maybe once every 2 weeks. Um, every week I'll shave the neck, but about once every 2 weeks I'll look at this and see if it's where I want it to be, and then make my adjustments then. But I'll do my cheek line whenever I look at my face and go, yeah, it's starting to show up. It's, showing up a little too much. I'm kind of picky about that. But yeah, yeah, I don't do that as much as some people might think. But it's part of the reason why we grow beards anyways, because we're tired of, you know, trying to get it up for what? um, yeah, I like the benefit of. Well, this is what this is really one of the great things about being a guy. I mean, women can do this too, but being a guy is great. And it really is. It's great being a guy. I mean, I don't have to care. I don't have to care really too. I mean, I do care about how I look. Don't get me wrong. I do care. Um, but yeah, I mean, I know. I guess I kind of figure I can go a while without having to do anything to it. So Eric says I struggle with it. I like the way a beard looks. Hold on, I got my glasses on. I like the way a beard looks on me, but I've always kind of thought in order for it to look good, you got to clean it up daily or often. Um, well, I I guess it just depends on the person. You could do that if you wanted to. I mean, some guys, obviously are going to feel differently about it. But I don't know. Here's the thing. Even when it comes to shaving my head, I only shave my head once or twice a week. And it's not like my hair grows like super slow. It doesn't. I'd say it just grows the average rate of speed. But I typically only shave once or twice because I just don't like taking the time. I have other things I want to attend to. I get up in the morning, I'll work out, I'll I'll read, or I'll sleep a little bit later and I have to be a little more of a hurry to get out the door, whatever the case might be. So yeah, I just don't care enough, I guess, maybe. But that's one of the great things about being a guy is that you can, but don't get me wrong, where is when my beard was bigger. And I think this was one of the problems with it is that it's actually harder to make the bigger beard look good for the most part. I guess I have enough vanity to me that I don't want to look scraggly because I know people have strong feelings about, especially women have strong feelings about big beards. Guys don't care. They actually respect it. They love it. But women they'll let you know how they feel about it. And so I try. I'm not doing it for women. I'm just saying that you just know people have strong feelings about it, and I don't want to look like I don't care. So when I had the bigger beard, I actually looked in the mirror more often, and in fact, too much for me. It was just too much for me, and I wanted to care less. So that was one of the things I did like about shaving my face is that if I have an empty canvas, well, what's there to look at? That's one of the reasons I shaved my head years ago is I had having bad haircuts and always some hair. Couldn't stand it. I always wanted to look nice. Well, if you don't have any hair, you don't have to care. If you don't have any hair in your head, no hair in your face, care. So yeah, yeah. So Paul says I just do the George Bruno, let it grow and let it flow. Some of the best advice you're ever going to get as far as growing a beard. He's absolutely right. He always says you can't trim your way to a big beard. He's right about that too. I've had big, in my early days, I had a bigger beard where I did keep trim. I trimmed once a month, and I regretted that. And I mean, it was minimal trimming, but I just wish I would have left it alone. Okay, so Eric says maybe I need to care a little less. That actually might be the answer. Well, yeah. I mean, try. I mean, it's kind of hard to kind of hard to overcome some things sometimes, but maybe you got to talk to yourself a lot. And I talk to myself a lot. In fact, you know, work sometimes talks about at work at our jobs. Sometimes talk about how the commissioners would love for us to have cameras in our trucks at all times. And I asked them, I said, so they could hear and see us all the time? They said, yeah. And I go, no, because I talk to myself. I would look like an idiot. People would be very entertained, though. Okay, so Sean Liggins, he says, I'm curious, why is it that the majority of women don't like beards? Shave mine off and women go crazy. Well, here's the tricky thing. Women don't really know what they want. I mean, I got to be careful. My wife is in the other room, but I stick to that. They don't really know what they want. They say that. And it's funny because when I had my first big beard, they would willingly, women who I didn't know would come up to me and tell me, I don't like your beard, as though I really could care, right? And I'd look at them like, I don't care. I don't even know who you are. And the second time I grew a big beard, women seemed to like it. But they would always say, I prefer a shorter beard. And then when I cut it down, when I shaved my face, some of them got mad. They were upset. They're like, I like the bigger beard. I'm like, you didn't say anything about the bigger beard, you know? And then they would say, then you'd have women that would act like they're crazy about your shaved face. But then they would say, yeah, but I just like a little bit of hair in your face. So they're all over the place. I just think that there are people out there, especially women. I think there are people out there that just like saying negative things to get into your head. And you'll notice it's the kind of people that can easily be upset if someone was to say something to them. That's why they do it, because they figure it works on them. It worked on them. It's probably going to work on you. And there's people that just like upsetting people or like getting into people's heads. It's kind of like the other day I saw a meme where a guy said, if I see a, I think it was something like, if I see a beautiful rich woman, a stuck-up beautiful rich woman in a supermarket, I always go up to her and ask her if she works here, and because it gets into her head. But there are just people that are like that. Yeah. So what do you guys do for work? What do you guys do for work? I told you what I do. I work for a utility company. I work in field services and meter service. And I help, establish service for people who are moving in and out, and also cut off people and reconnect people when they don't pay their bill and when they do pay their bill. But what do you do? What is your line of work? Are you proud of what you do? Are you happy about it? Are you satisfied with it? Or are you looking for something else? So Eric says, I'm a medical courier up here in Michigan. Okay, so Eric, where are you from in Michigan? I'm curious. I'm really curious about that. Yeah, my wife is originally from Michigan. She is from, well, originally she's from Hesperia, but she's got family up in Holton. Is it Holton? Fremont? Over there in Muskegon area, somewhere in that area, that side of Michigan. A medical courier. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean are you one of those guys that you deliver medical supplies to different like doctors' offices and stuff like that? Because I've heard that that is a good career, good paying career. So Eric says I'm in Genesee County. I hope I'm saying that right. Mid Michigan. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I don't know exactly where that's at, but Mid Michigan does not put you where my wife's family is from. So Paul says, Sith of no name, he says, women take outward appearance so seriously. Well, yeah, they do. So if they get criticism, they immediately go and make changes. You really make a good point here. I think there are people that would love the idea that if they said something to you, that you would make a change that would make them feel better about themselves, especially if they didn't really know you. So yeah, I never really thought about that way before until you just said what you said. Um, and then, oh yeah, you kind of just said what I was talking about. Then women think the same will work on men. Give them criticism or preference, and they think a man will go and make those changes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just from my years of experience, I would say that's probably true. So Jay Howard says, "Hey, Mr. Boswell. Hey, Jay." Eric says, yes, we pick up labs. Okay, we pick up labs, specimens, deliver supplies to hospitals, clinics, offices, etc. So I was watching a video. There's a guy on YouTube, and he's very successful on YouTube. His channel is all about showing people the relatively, good paying jobs that are out there that you wouldn't normally think of. And this was one of them. Okay, so Wade says, I manage a radiology team in a hospital. Oh, okay. Radiology IT. Wow. I feel like I should know this, but where are you from, Wade? I think I follow you on Instagram, don't I? Yeah. I think I do. It seems like I remember seeing some. Oh, I think. Pennsylvania. I think it was on Facebook that I saw some pictures of you and your wife. So your average Ryan says insurance carrier executive in New York City. Live in Long Island. Oh wow! I'll bet you have some stories. Yeah, don't you? That'd be fun to talk about. I'm guessing, maybe not, but I'm guessing. Jay Howard says, you, my friend, are my beard guru. Thank you for your tutorial videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Now, I'm certainly not the best out there, and there's a lot of guys who do a lot better job than I do, but all I can say is I try my best and I try to show people what works for me. I don't assume it will work for everybody else. But if you can get something out of it, that makes my day. So I appreciate that. So Eric asked me, are you happy and content with your job and career? Yes, actually I am. I feel so fortunate to be where I'm at, doing what I'm doing. Is it glamorous? No. I get some good stories out of it, but it's not making me rich. But I would have, when I was a young man, I would have never looked, I would have never dreamed that I could look at my future and see that I was doing well. I was doing fine. And I've been on my job I've been doing what I've been doing for 22, 23 years. I've got good benefits. I'll have a good retirement. And I work by myself all day. Sometimes I look at the seat next to me as I'm driving down the road and I think to myself, I'm a lucky guy. I have nobody with me at all day long. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I'm not getting rich. I don't care about being rich. Um, it's all relative anyway. I think rich is a mindset. I feel rich, but not necessarily with money. I feel rich in life. Like I'm a very content kind of guy. I can learn how to be content in whatever circumstances I find myself in. And I think that's one of the things that my parents drove home with me. And I think it's one of the things I've talked about quite often on my YouTube channel. And I think it's extremely important. But I think that I'm the kind of person I can be happy anywhere. I just find the positives, and I really focus on being thankful for them all the time. But I could do a lot worse. I've had jobs that were terrible before, so I have a lot to compare to. I had a long time to I've had a long time to compare things. So your average Ryan says nothing exciting in health insurance. Okay, okay. So Paul says he's from Bakersfield, California. Sean says, does life get better or worse at 50, socially and romantically? That's a great question. I will tell you that for me, I am enjoying my 50s far more than I enjoyed my 40s. When I turned 40 years old, psychologically that did something to me. Like it really bothered me. Turning 40 years old bothered me. And my 40s were very, very rocky. I had some good times, but my 40s were very rocky. My 50s, I have rocky moments, but I think about them differently. I feel differently about them. I approach them differently. And I think that has to do with maturity. I mean, you can only go through things so many times before you realize I should be learning something from this. And then you feel kind of proud of yourself when you're dealing with something that you dealt with a long time ago, but you're doing so much better. But you have a different perspective on life in your 50s. And I don't fear getting old. I don't fear dying. I mean, I'm not too happy about all the different ways I could go, but there's trade-offs. But I would say for the most part, for me personally, I think that my 50s are pretty enjoyable, really. I'm very proud of myself. When I turned 50, I was very proud of myself because I feel like I could have made 100 other choices and I would feel a lot worse about myself. So I'm very happy about that, which is why I make the videos that I make, hoping that I can influence you guys to make really good decisions in your life and have something to show for it as you get to be older. As far as romantically goes, well, I'm not single, so I'm not, socially, I find myself to be much more socially adept in my 50s than any other time in my life. I mean, honestly. All right. So Jay Howard, he says, I'm a security supervisor at campground. Campers are crazy. I'm sure they are. You're probably the guy that has stories. You probably have the stories, don't you? So Wade says, I'm 53 and Greg inspired me to grow a beard for the first time in my life. Cool. And you shave your head too, I think, right, Wade? I mean, I'm pretty sure. Your picture's really small in here, but I think I've seen your pictures. I'm pretty sure you shave your head. So that automatically earns you points. And then, okay, so Joshua, greetings from Syracuse, New York. I just want to thank you for being you. Oh, that's nice. You're such a great role model for everyone. Oh, you think so? Wow, I'm flattered. But especially for younger men that need an example of positive masculinity. Well, yeah, I thank you very much. That's a very nice comment. Then your average Ryan, he says, Greg, from clean shaven to your beard length, what's the time frame? To where I'm at right now, okay. So your hair grows about a half an inch every month. And this is probably a little bit longer than 12 millimeters. This is probably, I don't know, probably closer to 14. And I don't know, but I would say this beard at this length I could probably get in about, I'm going to be liberal with this, probably about a month and a half. Maybe sooner, because if this is a half an inch, if it's 12 millimeters, 12 and a half millimeters is a half an inch, I think. Yeah, because 25 millimeters is an inch. So you could get a 1 inch beard in 2 months, a half-inch beard, which I think is about what this is, in a month. That's average. That's average. So I know some guys tell me my beard just grows so slow. It would take me a lifetime to get to where you're at right now. I get that, but the average guy, his hair is going to grow about a half. Same thing with your fingernails. It's going to grow about a half an inch a month. Okay, that's why it's important to just leave it alone. I mean, guys just honestly, just every time they see anything that looks a little askew, they start trimming back, and yeah. And then you just kind of wreck your progress. Okay. Jay says, I've been shaving my head for about 5 to 6 years now. Greg had a video about using conditioner and it was a lifesaver. I'm telling you what, man, that has been the one tip that has been constant. That's the one tip that has never, and I mean ever, failed. I've probably had somebody at some point in time, I think I have, because I mean, you're always going to have a naysayer somewhere. I think I may have had one person say, oh no, it ripped up my head. And I think they were just lying, because there's just no way. I'm so sure about that tip that I think they were lying. But yeah, if you use hair conditioner rather than shaving cream, even if you shave your face, even if you shave your neck, use hair conditioner rather than shaving cream. You're going to find out that it mitigates heat rash, razor burn, all that stuff, and your skin will feel so much better. The razor glides over the skin so much better, and the skin feels good for a long time after you're done shaving, and you can even forget about using aftershave. I mean, I would still use it, but I'm saying you could forget using it, and your skin would still be fine. So it's one of the best things you could ever do if you're going to shave, is use hair conditioner. And people always ask me, well, which one? What kind? In fact, they see me in videos using a certain kind and say, I got that same exact kind. Well, you don't need to get the same exact kind of hair conditioner that I was using. You can pretty much almost get about any. I mean, relatively speaking, I would stay away from the ones that are very watery, the really cheap ones. But you don't have to get the most expensive hair conditioner. Just get a good hair conditioner, good name, brand name. And it doesn't have to be expensive, and it will work wonders for you. Somebody, who told me that tip is the guy I worked with who had lots of hair, had lots of facial hair, lots of hair on his head. And he told me he had heard this is long before I ever had a beard. And I said, I'll give that a try. And I shaved my head with it. I was like, that's amazing. So I started sharing the tip with other guys long before YouTube even came around. And guys would get so excited about it and come back and tell me, I can't believe that works so well, but it does. It does. Okay. Your average Ryan says, looks good. That's the length I want for fall. This right here, that's the length I want for fall. I'm a clean shaven face and head for summer. Yeah, I totally get it, man. And I'm a big believer in switching it up, even for no reason at all whatsoever. Wade says, Eric, it took me a while to get used to it. In the beginning, it was itchy. It would not make me, and would make me hot at times. My wife loves it, so she keeps encouraging me to keep it, so that helps. Oh, that's cool. So Eric asked, do you just apply the hair conditioner the same way you do shaving cream? Yes. Yeah. Now, the thing is, with hair conditioner, it's pretty much transparent when you put it on your head. It's not like shaving cream. Shaving cream, it's highly visible. You can see where you've run the cartridge You can see where you've done that. No one needs to rely on that. You don't need that. I mean, I used to shave in the shower, and I didn't need to see my head to do it. So with hair conditioner, um, you won't. It's all transparent, but that the way that that razor glides over the skin is just great. Just great. Uh, Jay says coconut milk conditioner. Yeah, that probably would work really well. Olive tree. Tried to tried head and beard shave yesterday. My first ever head shave. My first time using a razor, and I used OGX conditioner and a Harry's razor. Works great, but conditioner got a little stuck in blades. Well, you're probably not rinsing it out enough, and you know that can happen when you have when you're using hair conditioner. You just have to make sure that you're not in a hurry and be thorough when you're rinsing that razor out. I've heard that actually a number of times, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but you just have to be willing to take time. And sometimes I would even smack the razor or the cartridge on the sink to get it out. So there is that factor. So here it says the chat was disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. So I'm still having some issues. Still having some issues. Man. So yeah, we've been at just a little over an hour. So Eric asked, "What hair conditioner do you use and recommend?" Really, just like I said before, really any good name, any good brand name product. It doesn't have to be OGX. It's a good one. Um, but I would just stay away from the ones that are like cheap. But most of them are pretty good. Most of them are really good. Okay, so it says here we're successfully connected. Good, good. All right. So you have to understand when I'm talking on here and I'm looking over at my laptop, there is a lag in time. So my reactions aren't always timing up just right with everything. So, but it's gonna take some getting used to. Like I said, this is the first time I've done this on my own, and I am absolutely delighted that you guys are here. So your average Ryan says, "What's your nightly face routine?" I started using ROC night retinol. I'm 46. Oh, wait a minute. Did you say more? I gotta go down further. No. My night routine. I don't really have one. I let my wife smack me around a little bit. I don't, but I'm sure she would like that. But no, I don't have a. I don't. That's funny. I mean, not funny, but I've had so many requests from guys to make a video talking about a skincare routine, and I don't have one. I just don't have one. Like I told you, I'm kind of lazy like that when it comes to grooming. I will say, I thought I heard something behind me. I probably had a cat in here or something. I will say that if you use hair conditioner to shave, or to shave your head or even your face, or in case even your cheek lines, your neckline, whatever, even if you use hair conditioner for that, that's going to be very good for your skin. Very good for your skin. So that's about the closest I come to that. Now, I use an electric shaver on my head quite often, and I've noticed that my skin is not as good on the top of my, because I tend to have very dry skin. And when I had hair, I would scratch my head and I'd have dandruff really bad. But when I started shaving my head and use hair conditioner, I never had that problem ever again. Ever again. My skin was so good. So the closest I come to a skin routine is hair conditioner. But other than that, I make no point. I make no point of really just trying to get in there and, make my skin look nice. Wow, I got a super chat from your average Ryan. Thank you. That is very generous of you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Very nice of you. Says number one fan. Well, there you go. There you go. That's very nice of you. That's so nice. Okay, so yeah, yeah. I wish, honestly, I wish that I had a skin routine that I was faithful to, because I would love to be able to make a video about it and say, hey, yeah, this is what's gonna work. 'Cause I like sharing tips with you guys and telling you stuff that actually works really good. I don't blow smoke, you know. Um, so I would love to be able to report that I do, but to be quite honest with you, I just don't. So a little bit of a transparent moment there, honest, a little bit of a look, nothing glamorous at all. Hmm. Drinking my Pepsi here. Um, what do you guys? You guys like soda? I drink way too much soda. I do. No, I'm not being sponsored by Pepsi, and it's really not my favorite. But my wife loves Pepsi. I prefer Dr. Pepper myself. Hmm. Either that or Crown Royal Green Apple. Okay. So Jay asked me, what electric head shaver do you use? Well, I tell you what, the one I've been using the most is the Brio Rays, and they just came out with a new one. In fact, I made a video that came out, well, I think it was last Friday, about the Brio Rays. Yeah, I think it was last Friday. Anyways, last week. And that's a good razor. I was using the Cut Buddy for a while. I really like the Cut Buddy, but it doesn't hold up as well as the Brio Rays. I will tell you though, I do have there was a company that reached out to me, and they sent me this electric shaver that looks really, really cool. And it's even more affordable than the Brio Rays. And it's got 8 heads on it versus, I think, 5 heads on the Brio Rays. And this, I haven't used it yet, but I'm looking forward to. That's what I was going to do tonight before I made the video, was to shave my head, and I decided against it. But I'll do it tomorrow morning. I'm just going to test it out before I present it to you guys. But I'm really looking forward to trying that out and making that video. So yeah, as of right now, I prefer the Brio Rays, and I'll put a link for that down in the description once this video is over with. Likewise. Um, what's Eric saying here? Maybe consider doing a video of showing yourself using the hair conditioner to shave or line yourself up. Maybe it's not a bad idea. It might not be a bad idea, because I haven't done it in a while. I mean, I've made plenty of videos showing how I shave my head. I haven't made a head shaving video in a while, but I've done it quite a few times. But it's been quite a long time ago, so it's probably due for a revisit. So I do appreciate that suggestion. Maybe I'll get that up next week. No, I mean, it's not like there's anything fancy to it, but at least, guys, there's a lot of people out there. They're not going to see the videos that you've seen. It might not show up in their feed, so it would help me making another video like that. And if you wonder what kind of razors I use on my head, the one I've been using for so many years is the Harry's razor. I know people have certain feelings about the Harry's razor, like they do about Gillette. I get it, but it works for me. It's a five-bladed razor cartridge, and it just works really well, and it has the detail razor at the end of the head also that a lot of people don't even know is there. Somebody had to tell me about that. Paul, he says, I used to drink a lot of Pepsi or other sodas, got off them and feel better. Only have a soda occasionally. I probably should follow your lead. Oh man, I just love Dr. Pepper. I can't ever see myself not drinking soda someday. Now, my brother up in Minnesota, my brother up there, he doesn't drink soda at all. And I have a feeling like, the little bit of fat I have on my stomach probably go away if I just cut that out. You know, I when I was a young man, I heard another adult man. I heard another man in my life tell me he worked with a guy who used to drink tons of Coke, and he had a belly on him when he gave up Coke, when he gave up soda altogether. He slimmed down. That's all he gave up. And Olive Tree says, I had less irritation shaving my neck with razor and conditioner than I did with electric shaver. Yeah, that's true. That so so many years ago, I did not use electric shavers because my first experiences with them as a young man was that very same thing. I used to get irritation really bad. I don't know if something has improved with electric shavers over the years or what, but I don't get that irritation anymore. I suppose though, you can use the Brio Rays in a wet fashion. You could use it in the shower. You could use shaving cream with it. You could whatever. You could use it wet or dry. So you know what? Maybe that would be a good video to make. A head shaver video with wet head and conditioner. So he went on to say, uh, even I nicked myself 2 times, but it was small and at least my skin wasn't all red. Yeah, it happens. I mean, every once in a while I've still cut myself too. So Paul says, I have vintage Gillette double-edged razors. I was out of blades for a long time, so I ordered Astra 100 pack on Amazon, arriving on Thursday. Oh, you know what? I've heard that's the way to go. I did make a double-edged razor video, and I didn't really use it much uh, after that. It was just it required. I could tell that it required more skill than I would care to develop. You have to be so much more careful with that than you do a regular cartridge razor. So I just never wanted to. I never want to take the time to develop the skill of doing it. But I've heard that ordering packs on or large packs on Amazon were the way to go, and I totally get why people do it. So your average Ryan says, Greg, time for bed, but glad I caught some of this and look forward to another chat. Keep it up. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, Ryan. I do appreciate it. I won't be on here very much longer, but I do thank you for joining me. And you're asking me, lastly, any tattoos? No, I don't have any tattoos. I'm not against them. I just don't have any. I'm waiting for the perfect tattoo to show up in my life, but at my age, I don't know if it's worth getting a tattoo. I just don't know. So if I get one, I will definitely let you guys know. And depending on where it's at, I'll show you. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? I really can't imagine myself getting one at this point. But I have nothing against them. Um, was there something else? It seems like there's something else I was going to share with you. Oh, let me ask you guys this. If you've enjoyed this, uh, how, I'm thinking about doing this several times a week because this is just a really great way to connect. And I'm impressed. I mean, it says, I've got 10 people watching now, but that's 10 more than I thought I would have originally. So, I mean, actually, it says up here it says I have 17 watching. So I've thought about this for a long time and just haven't pulled the trigger. But I would love to make more. I would love to do live chats more often, probably 2 or 3 times a week, if you guys would be up for it. And I kind of figured that maybe 9 o'clock at night would be good since I live on the East Coast. And guys who are 2 or 3 hours behind me would still be able to get to the live chat or be able to get to the live stream, and in a relatively decent time. So tell me if you think this time is working out for you. Me, I'm a person who goes to bed late. I never get to bed before midnight. I mean, well, I never shut my eyes before midnight. Okay. So Paul says you have to learn the angles and try letting the weight of the razor do the work. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that that is the key to that is I mean, you kind of have to do it with the cartridge razor, but I've heard that's even more important with the double razor. So Nomad says, when shaving, I use a vacuum shaver. I don't get an extremely close shave, but it serves the purpose of getting facial hair dealt with. Um, I'm not sure I know what that is. In fact, Nomad, yeah, thanks for joining the chat. I think it's the first time I've seen your name, but I don't know what a vacuum shaver is. I might have to look that up. I'm very curious now. Um, Eric says, is it possible with other people who are also live? Yes. Yeah. Well, you know, the other live stream I did with Eric from Eric's Excursions. We did it at Culver's, and he was also live streaming at the same time. So we could do that, but I could also do picture in picture kind of a thing, where and I kind of want to do that actually. So yeah, um, that will be something I will do. I would love to do. Bring people on and just chat it up. So Nomad says this is a good time. Yeah. Oh, good, good. I'm glad that you feel that way. I think I'm waiting for the chat to roll up. It says disconnected. It'll show up again. Eric says he's a night owl. Do I have to get up early? I should get up early. It depends on what early is to you. I should get up at 5 a.m. every morning. Do I? No. I have times where I'm very motivated. I'm like, I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and I do it. But you know, over the past year or so, I have put more of an emphasis on getting more sleep. So I tend to like get up between 6 and 6:30. That's way too late for me, but that's what I'm doing. Um, yeah. So I know I'm overlooking some chats. I see them show up on my phone, but they're not on my laptop. Uh, when this refreshes itself, I'll get back to the ones I skipped over. I think Wade said that this time works for him good too, at 9 o'clock. I mean, obviously, not everyone could agree on a night and a time, but you know, I'd like to get a general consensus. I'd also like to do live stream walking videos, you know, walking around downtown Lakeland, showing you guys all of that. And yeah, now it's showing on my laptop. Thank goodness I have data, because on my laptop, it's saying that I have no internet. So Bronze Series 9, Nomad says, Bronze Series 9 is good for the body shape, but lately I've been using the, oh man, it already disappeared off my screen. Disappeared off my screen. See, you probably don't know what I'm looking at. So on my phone, the chats will show up, but because I'm horizontal, they show up and then kind of disappear. I've noticed that I noticed on Instagram when they shoot vertical, the chats just scroll and scroll, and you can see them for a while. I wish YouTube did different. See, I'm gonna have to look into this, find out what the heck is going on. Yeah. So anyway, I wonder they must be having a problem in this area. I got a message the other day saying that the internet outage in my area had been cleared up. I'm like, I didn't even know we had a problem. But maybe it's ongoing. Or maybe there's too many people in my family on Wi-Fi at this time. That's crazy. Well, I'll just try to, okay, it says it's back online now. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let's see what I missed. Yeah, Wade says he stays up late. See, did I miss this one? Shaving wet my face is something I haven't done in over 2 to 3 years. Nomad saying is saying this. He's like, I haven't shaved my face wet in over 2 to 3 years. At the point, since I always constantly cut my face with it and it'd leave horrible razor burn, I also use the Bronze Series 9. Well, if you do try it wet, try the hair conditioner and tell me how that went. Um, I want to get back to this vacuum shaver thing. Nomad says I only ever have seemed to be able to shave comfortably. Okay, so I'm reading the same thing over again. Eric says I'm also a night owl. Do you have to get up early? Okay, I read that one. It also said that would be fun, guys getting together, connecting. Yeah, that's the thing about this, is that this is a great way to actually get to know each other, as opposed to, you know, it being a one-way thing. Bronze Series 9 is good for the body shave, but lately I've been using the Shinchi vacuum shaver, and it gets close enough to where it's presentable. I have very thick hairs to deal with. And he says he's got a link to the vacuum shaver. I am going to look that up. I'm very curious. I've just never heard of that. Just never heard of that at all. Yeah. Wow, we've been at it. This says for 81 minutes, 82 minutes. I didn't expect that. I'm telling you what, I'm having fun. Nomad says I never heard of it either until late last year when I got it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm thinking about coming back Thursday night and doing this very same thing. Wednesday night wouldn't be good for me. I donate plasma at BioLife on Mondays and Wednesday nights. And when I get done doing that, I feel pretty depleted. I like have no energy. Let me raise this up just a little bit. I have like no energy when I get done. And so I just wouldn't be available on Mondays and Wednesday nights for the most part. I could make it happen, just don't want to. Tuesdays and Thursday nights work well for me. Maybe even Fridays and Saturdays or Sundays. But yeah, I'd like to be able to do this 2 or 3 times a week. And Nomad's saying I'd definitely be interested if I happen to be around then. Well, I will try to resolve this issue with the software. I mean, I bought this webcam. I've got to make it work. I've got to make it worth the money. So I figured this out. And for some reason, these guys are not wanting to tell you everything in these tutorials. So I will look that up and see if I can get it going. But thank goodness these phones work well. Eric says he's in. Good, cool. But one way or another, I will make sure that that I give you guys a heads up, like I did today. Did you guys know about this because of the notice I gave you on Instagram, in my stories, or in my on my post? Is that how you saw it? I enjoy your company, hanging out. And that's the thing. That's the thing about these things, is that you're not just talking to me, you're talking to each other too. And so, okay, so Nomad said he saw it live on YouTube. I wish that would have worked out, because I actually offered that link and people could just click on. Before I had the Braun Series 9, I used the Bic razors as well as the Harry's razors with Harry's razors shaving cream, which definitely didn't work well for me. Oh, so I've never tried that. I've never tried the Harry's shaving cream. I was always an against the grain guy. Well, if you've watched my head shaving videos, I lather up. Well, I wouldn't say it's a lather, but I lube up with the hair conditioner, shave with the grain, rinse it off, apply cool water, and then I put the hair conditioner back on and shave against the grain. So Paul says, yes, I saw your notice video. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, here's a new face, Scodies. Hope I'm saying that right. just started watching about 10 to 15 minutes ago, so I don't know if you've covered this. How long do you go between head shaves? Have you ever tried the People Pro? No, I haven't ever tried that. A lot of guys have, though, and it gets brought up a lot. I shave my head once or twice a week. Probably mostly just once a week. If I'm using a head shaver, it's easier to do it twice. And really, with a head shaver, you could hit it every day. It depends on how close you care to keep it, but I tend to get some growth going on. Like, this is really more than I want right now, but I'll probably shave it tomorrow morning. I mean, this is the hardest part of the body to shave, let me tell you, is the back. I've tried Phillips back shavers, but they all broke, so I had to return them. So Omni Shaver sent me back back shavers. I haven't used them yet. I don't have a lot of back hair. I have some, not a lot. Just I haven't even tried them yet. But anyway, guys, okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits tonight. We've been at this for almost 87 minutes. That's an hour, almost an hour and a half. So I do appreciate you showing up and spending time with me. And you know, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you did that. Check out my videos and make sure you come back and look at the description for the links I'm gonna provide. I'll provide for beard products likewise. And yeah, and I'll look at doing this again Thursday night. I will let you guys know on Instagram and Facebook via the stories and the regular post. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got to spend time with you guys. So I hope you have a good night, and we'll catch you on the flip flop. All right, see you later, guys.